I love it so much. Get Villa Capelli. Go to villacapelli.com, do all your shopping, use the discount code Vinnie, VINNIE. You'll get 10% off your order each and every time. Trust me, it's delicious. It's amazing. Get their salts, get their spices, get their flavored oils, and you will not regret it. We love Villa Capelli. And so will you.
Okay, so Anna, since you're completely useless when it comes to Alison Krauss information.
Yeah, and yet I had the honor and the privilege of going to see her live and didn't know any of the songs.
Yeah, so
I loved
have
it.
my fake girlfriend Lois on the phone. How you doing, Pumpkin?
Good. How are you?
I was just about to text you because I realized I didn't text you back about that I loved the concert.
So Lois,
can she not hear me?
No, she can hear you.
Oh, okay.
I can't hear Anna.
You can't?
No, I can hear Anna Charlie Brown voice in the background. That's all I can hear.
I have no idea why that's so.
This is some bullshit.
Yeah, this should be going through perfectly fine.
Through the little plug. Oh, do you need to turn it up on her? Well, no, because we hear her.
No, I can hear her fine.
Yeah, me too. All right. Well, you're gonna have
how
to be
about now? Can you hear Anna now?
How about now? Can you hear me now? Baby, can you hear me?
No, you can't.
Oh,
No,
I get. This is so sad. All I want is to talk to my friend Leona.
All right, Leona, say something now. No, I've lost it. You see,
wait, why don't I call her from my phone and plug her in on mine? No, I have the same roadcaster that you do.
We tried that once before. It worked like nothing.
Hello.
Okay, can you hear Anna now? Try now.
Sorry, I was drinking coffee. Can you hear me now?
I can totally hear you now.
Oh my God. See, that's our tech support. Unplug it and plug it back in.
Yeah.
And it should work, right?
Yeah, it's crazy how that works. So,
reboot.
Leona, look, as it turns out, it should have been me and you at the Alison Krauss.
I just lost my seat at the Alison Krauss concert because I told him I didn't know any of the songs. I loved it. It was great. And then I just said, oh crap, I forgot to text Leona back from this morning. I loved it. I thought it was amazing.
It was amazing.
But I don't deserve to be there because I wasn't familiar with the music beforehand. That's what he told me.
Allison, first off, was
Allison.
Oh, well, Lois.
Yeah, there you go. Get the incorrect name.
Was Alison Krauss there with Union Station, or was it just a bunch of musicians? Do you know?
It was a bunch of musicians, I believe.
That's what I said too. He didn't listen to my answer. He had to get you on the phone.
I mean, to be fair, I mean, I don't know her entire band.
But yeah, they didn't go, here's Alison Krauss and Union Station.
No, they didn't do that. They introduced them individually because they have identities.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. Maybe because it was a compilation that they're doing a compilation tour, or not compilation, or a collaboration tour. And maybe that's why they did a couple Zeppelin songs. They did different takes on rock and roll. And
what did I say to you, Vinny? I've said all of this information to you, and yet you say I don't deserve to be there.
You don't.
And I relayed to you correct information.
How did you
on all 3 points?
I should have been there. How did you get?
Because I have a friend who orders tickets and then invites us to go.
Wow.
I don't know how to get concert tickets.
Yeah, me either.
And I tell you what, it was amazing because I mean, I enjoy Alison Krauss, but I'm way more familiar with, of course, Robert Plant and Led Zeppelin.
Me too.
Yeah, she is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I tell you, it was a beautiful night. It was out under the stars, beautiful, crisp air. Sound was clear. Sound was amazing. If you like Robert Plant and Zeppelin, it was kind of fun to hear the different takes on the songs that they did play. That was from them. And then,
I may have taken a little video. Hold on.
He has some kind of signature things that he does with his voice, and he kind of fit those in. And I tell you what, my daughter, who was not familiar with them so much, I mean, she's heard me talk about both of them, but it's not her jam, so to speak. And she really enjoyed it. She was especially blown away by Alison Krauss's voice and everything. She really enjoyed it. So it was fantastic.
Yeah, no, Alison Krauss she's just special all the way around.
Okay, ready for this?
Yeah, go on.
Just hear me out. He listen, it's not where it was. It's kind of like when I saw Fleetwood Mac, like Stevie Nicks needed to warm up, and then she did Rhiannon pretty early in the night, so she didn't want to hit the high notes in it. But then by the end of the night, she was hitting those higher notes, kind of thing. His voice is way strong, like it's still there, but you can't expect like he was pretty damn good. But I gotta say, when I saw him in '94, it was insanity how much he was jumping all over the stage. But this is a totally different vibe, you know?
Yeah, no, the immigrant song. Hey, Lois, was the immigrant song on the jukebox?
No, but rock and roll was, and
Stairway to Heaven had to be on it, right?
The longest jukebox song ever.
Was it on there?
Actually, I don't think it was, because it is such a long song, and it's got to fit on the 45, right? So.
Oh yeah.
So, all right. So, what was on there?
Name it.
For Zeppelin?
Start with A1, A2.
I want to know what was on the jukebox.
As far as Led Zeppelin goes?
Yeah.
Like I said, it was.
Oh, I thought you meant everything on the jukebox.
I know, right? I haven't memorized. Rock and roll. Let's see. As far, I think Black Dog was, and then whatever their B-sides would have been, of course. But that's all I can think of offhand.
All right. So, Lois, you and me were by the dumpster, right? And all of a sudden, we can hear this in the background. Yeah. Right. You feeling
right.
it? You feeling it?
Yeah, more like Kashmir, really. Kashmir is the song for.
You're making me work here, Lois. You're becoming a pain like Serena. I got to write down all these numbers to tell Bill where to find all this. All right, Lois, we're not going to keep you. I'm sorry. I'm sorry about it. So you have about as much information on Alison Krauss as Anna. Both of you guys went to a concert and have no idea
that you really wanted to go to.
Oh, can I put it in a little tidbit? Because I just found out at the concert when Robert Plant was introducing all the band members, and he introduced Alison Krauss, and he said their hometowns, and her hometown, and this kind of is a little flashback to Mr. Dan Fogelberg, because she's from Champaign, Illinois, which was about an hour and a half away from where I lived. And it's a pretty good sized town by Illinois standards. But I posted on Facebook this morning some pictures, and a couple of my hometown friends are familiar with her because she used to play with one of the local bluegrass bands, who some of the members were my neighbors. So that's kind of a fun little useless bit.
That's amazing. Alison Krauss was so close to the jukebox.
That's right. But that was fun. The campground we used to have an annual bluegrass festival too, and so that band, the Scott Brothers, used to play there all the time.
Oh, the other way you can look at it is she was dumpster adjacent.
I just wish you'd find better places to take your dates than behind a dumpster. That's my wish for you. If I could get in a time machine.
School, her dad had a shotgun. I mean,
I'm going to get in a time machine with you, and I'm going to take you back. We're going to location scout some better places for you to take your dates.
Where would we go? Like if we wanted to have a romantic evening,
woods,
campground.
Woods is nice.
And the campground in the woods. It would be in the woods.
The woods. Yeah.
But don't lay in the poison ivy.
There was a creek that ran through there with a little clearing nearby.
Oh, the clearing, Anna. The clearing.
Yeah, the clearing, down in the clearing.
Yeah. Can you hear the faint
meadow? Was there a meadow?
Yeah, was there a babbling brook?
A meadow is a great place to get handsy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I did most of my handsiness.
Yeah, you do your best work in a meadow.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. In high school? Oh, yeah. Yeah, I was coming back.
The grass just tall enough to cover up if you're laying down?
Oh, yeah. You know
I know how meadows work.
Like,
I've done some things in cornfields too.
Really?
Yeah.
That can hurt.
Yeah, I know.
That can hurt.
I went to prep school it was near these cornfields. This boarding school was near these cornfields, and that's where you would sneak off, go out to the cornfields. Mm-hmm.
We would go into the cane field, which is very similar to cornfields. Yeah,
I was in Delaware. You're in Louisiana. There you go.
Stay off sugar, folks. There you go.
Don't eat sugar and grains. Fuck in the fields, but don't eat it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So when you're in the meadow by the babbling brook, can you hear the faint music in the background?
No.
That's a mood right there. That's a whole vibe. I love it.
Yeah. And you see, back in our day, Anna, you couldn't bring like a Walkman or anything. Transistor radio is about all we had. And we were happy to get it.
What do you mean bring a Walkman? You're going out with somebody, but you're wearing a Walkman, but you're trying to make out?
I like music while I'm making out.
Which is over your ears, not over hers.
Yeah, you get to split.
You can't share what?
Yeah, you can share. And that's how you get close to them. You share the ear thing.
Oh, I thought you were actually already getting action, but you were still wearing your Walkman. And she's like, I don't know what you're listening to.
Yeah, maybe that's why I didn't get laid a whole lot when I was.
Yeah, maybe not.
Yeah, I didn't have anything figured out. Yeah. All right, Lois. We've abused you enough.
She's like, yeah, I'll say.
It was awesome to see you, Anna. I'm glad
it was great to see you too, and your beautiful daughter. She's so stunning.
She is a beautiful kid.
Oh my God.
Can I say that? Is that like she's
but here's the thing, and it's not a female or male thing. It's about you forget how good looking young people are. They're so good looking. These sweet young, they're ready to start their lives. And you're like, were we that cute when we were that? I don't think we were. I think this next generation is like, or we just are so out of touch. And we just look old.
They're more put together. I feel like
they are
out how to, like Tallulah was like that. They know how to.
Stunning young woman.
Like they're not trying really hard. They just kind of pull it together in a not trying hard sort of way. Lois, am I right?
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Lucy was just home, and I was just like, I would look at her and be like, oh, thank God you got the good genetics from both of us. Cause you know what I mean? Like you look at them and you're like, how did that happen? You're so pretty.
Yeah.
Again, there's a lot more going on, but I'm still like just marveling at how beautiful these children are.
Yeah.
That's the future.
Well, I appreciate that.
That's the future. Anna, we got to get some show going.
Okay. Oh boy, we have a fun show.
Yeah.
Leona, when you listen, I'm going to be talking about my friend's health class that he had to take at his Fortune 100 company. And all the gems of knowledge dropped in the health class.
Oh, can't wait to hear that.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, folks, pay attention this coming Wednesday. This show's coming out on Monday. We're not doing a regular me and Andy show. Leona already has this show. It's me and a guy named Ryan Muncie, who wrote a book called Fuck Your Feelings. The name of the book.
Oh, that's awesome.
And love talking to this guy. I threw him on a Wednesday show, and you guys will love every bit of what we're talking about. It's just this inspirational, how you get out of your own way and just move ahead. So pay attention this coming Wednesday to that show.
Also, who has time to feel their feelings? I mean, isn't that a luxury?
I don't even have feelings.
Do you have feelings privilege? Because I don't.
I don't have time for feelings or
there's no time
emotions or anything.
I actually really like that guy's book, so I'm excited to listen to that interview. That's great.
Yeah. Ryan Muncie, pay attention on Wednesday. All right, Lois, we'll let you go.
All right.
Oh, by the way,
hi, sweetheart.
Lois, one more thing.
JK.
Mm-hmm.
We need a new hat. I'm thinking same design, different color.
Ooh.
Oh, okay.
I wanted to go with red, but apparently the color of a red hat is still, hurting some people.
What a shame.
That shocked me.
Maroon. A maroon hat?
I was thinking purple.
Maroon's cool.
How about purple?
Purple.
Yeah, because there's a lot of purple people out there now.
Yeah, do it.
Leona, come up with some colors.
Okay, we'll do.
Maybe even like a royal blue might be a nice color too. Kind of like a Dodger blue.
In the Housewives world, that's Ramona blue.
Yeah, give me some Ramona blue.
That's for you, Schmaps.
Okay.
Bye, Leona. It was good to see you.
Bye. Thanks, you guys. You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
So, Vinny.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about NSNG Foods for a second? And then I'm going to launch into this text chain. It's gonna make you mad. I'm just gonna tell you that in advance.
Yeah, let me just, I want to talk about a couple of things.
Okay.
And then we're gonna get into yours. All right.
Okay.
So Serena came back from, well, Serena's had a hip problem for a while, and she's an ultra runner.
Right.
And she kept going, yeah, but runners, it's like the hip is getting worse and worse. She goes to doctors, x-rays, whole thing, can't figure out the problem. But I said, Serena, it's not going to get better unless you stop running. And you have to do other things. I mean, runners just keep running. And the reason they break down so often is because they don't know how to take time off to build their bodies in other ways. Well, when Serena went to England for 3 weeks, she did 2 things. Number one, she stopped running. She did 3 things. Number one, she stopped running. Number 2, she started going to different classes like Pilates, bar, this kind of thing.
You said core power she went to.
Yeah, she went to a few different things where, it's like bastardized versions of Pilates,
Right.
You're on some sort of reformer and what have you.
Right.
And so that was the second thing she did. Number one, she stopped running. Number 2, she did that. And according to Serena, she got fat. The reason she got fat was because she was in England taking care of her sister, and they were enjoying everything from pizza to ice cream to you name it. Now, Serena fat means she's perfectly lean.
Right.
Right. When she was naked, she looked the same to me as when she says she's not fat.
Right.
By the by. Right. But women have telltales. This pair of jeans don't fit right. I feel like I have a little muffin top, whatever. Right. I get it.
You know your own body when you get fluffy.
Yeah. And to me, it was like, come here with that fat body.
Yeah, get over here.
Not to me.
Let me squeeze them bits, honey.
Well, when she got back here, she started looking for classes that mimicked what she was doing there. So it's easy to find Pilates. And she found one called Solid Core.
Solid Core, that's it.
Called Bar and the whole thing. So she signed up at 2 or 3 of them. You get so many classes for a month for thing here and so many classes. But she did 2 or 3 of them. Mm-hmm. And she's going to PT for her hip. Number one, the hip, haven't heard her complain in weeks.
Great.
Number 2, she's getting abs. It's almost a 61-year-old woman. She's going to be 61 in a month.
Amazing.
She's got abs. Her butt, runners get what I call frog butt. If you put a frog on their hind legs, their butt
it can stick.
It's just flat, right? Yeah. There's no butt. And Serena was getting that, skinny legs and lean legs and some muscles and hamstrings, but frog butt and, the whole thing. She now has muscles where I haven't seen muscles since her early 40s when I met her.
Right.
Right. And she looks completely different because, I have a gym here in the house. I even signed her up for a gym in town. She'll do it once or twice. Right. I'm not going to do it again. Right. And she just stops doing it. It's amazing when you find something she's willing to do a class, right? Fine. Go do your class. Go do your thing. Her body has, within 5 weeks.
Yeah.
Her body. Now let's take into account she's a fit woman to begin with. Right. Let's take into account that when she came back, she went whole hog NSNG. She goes, I got to get this fat off. Whatever that fat was that she was feeling, she just went all in on NSNG. She looks like a different person. Her butt, her legs, her abs. I haven't seen, it just proves that even within your own house, the person you can't do that with, you can change your body at 61 years old, at any age. So there you have it.
I just want you to know.
Yeah, go on.
I love hearing this because it makes me excited that you are, first of all, it's kind of nice to hear Serena's perspective, about exercise and stuff, because I know about all the running and stuff, but it's kind of fun to hear that because it feels like there's going to be a lot of us who relate to that, and then also and you've said it to me over the years that you actually, because I've asked you, hey, what about Pilates? It feels like a real workout to me. I feel like fatigued, like I fatigued my muscle groups. And you're like, yes, that is true. You're feeling that accurately, So I like hearing this. And also Lauren Tarquinio just walked up to the window and shoved your Pure Coffee Club up to the window. It just arrived. It was a lot of excitement. So I wanted to share that with you.
I was wondering why you were laughing. Oh, and by the way, this morning I went with her for the first time to Solid Core.
How was it?
I enjoyed it. It's a 50-minute class, 50.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The music, they got this. I felt like I was in a gay club.
I don't like that.
And the woman is yelling over that, and I can't understand a word she's saying. So
no, the microphones are terrible in every single class you ever go to.
The only reason I even knew it, she was talking really fast. I had to look at Serena on the reformer next to me and the girl on the reformer on the other side, depending on where I was
that's the only way you can learn
to see what to do next.
Right.
What was my impression? I prefer Pilates because you're doing not just core, but you're doing other movements. I would have preferred more, we did some squats where you do squats and, thing. And they do the thing where they have you go out into a squat and then you stay down and then just do little movements within that. I'm a guy that throws a 45-pound bar on my back with 25 on each side and do deep squats. So
right. You need...
I wasn't going to feel that. I did feel some of the ab exercises, even though I do abs twice a week. They had you doing a plank on your elbows and then pushing up into a pike position.
Right.
There were little areas of my stomach where I started feeling the burning sensation because it was hitting me in a way that I never use my abs.
Right.
Tells me, hey, maybe I should do that. Because
I love that move. I do that all the time.
I have a Bosu ball right here, like the whole Bosu, like a regular exercise. I can do that move on that ball where I put my hands on the ground and do the, So that told me, hey, there's a weakness. You can do this in your own gym. I don't have to go pay and have in my head just to do that. And I don't have to spend the time to go there. I could just spend 15 minutes doing it here. So I learned a lot. I really enjoyed it. I always like doing something new. I even did a little Instagram on it. So look, Serena and I went.
I saw it. It was really cute. It was nice to see her on your Instagram too.
Yeah, and so
she's very popular. Some might say more popular than you. I don't know who says that, but I've heard somebody say that.
The whole world, because she's recognized when she goes anywhere, and I'm not.
It's just fun. It's just fun to hear a different perspective and hear the person you live with, what they're going through and what they do. And
yeah, absolutely. Everyone, I can't pretend that everything's always perfect. We have to work through injuries and everything else. And it's almost like the injury is what made her do something different. Right.
See, this is what I try to tell people. Setbacks generally make you figure out a different solution.
Yeah.
So don't be upset at the setbacks. It's part of the problem. Just collect the data, figure it out. You're going to figure out everything's figure outable. You'll get there. So I love that. That's awesome.
Look, I wrote a book whenever there was a writer's strike in LA. Yeah. That book changed my life. As Howie Mandel often said, I've seen a lot of people pivot in their life and for the better. I've never seen anyone do it as successful as Vinnie. Now, I don't, maybe he doesn't know many people like
he might not, and that's okay.
I had to do a hard pivot,
You did.
And then my business started coming back.
Mm-hmm.
But, I started telling people, hey, I'm sorry, I'm already doing this. And then when I started doing that so much, I realized that I missed coaching. So I went, I can just do phone calls.
Right.
Coach
and still have that
still
fulfillment
do that.
of coaching. Yeah.
Right. I didn't mean to go off on a tangent.
No, it's okay. I do want to read this thing from this Fortune 100 company, but I want to ask you real quick.
Sure.
So remember how years ago when you first trained me, long before we did the podcast, you said, get a pair of 2 10-pound dumbbells. And let's just start there. And then you've taught me different exercises to do over the years. And what I'll do is when I feel like I don't want to do Pilates too many days in a row, I'll do those dumbbells and I'll do like 20 minutes of arm stuff with the dumbbells and things like that. And I love it.
Right.
And I still feel 10 pounds, I still can go through, do 3 sets of 12 to 15 and go to failure.
Right.
That's how weak I am upper body. Like all these years later, I still feel that. but also I feel like it does different things. It's Pilates, you're laying down or doing different position. Like I would just like to, like you said, change it up and try different things. So a girlfriend of mine, who I don't want to reveal her identity, but she wants to start weightlifting and she's my age, but she's much less physically fit than I am. And I said, oh, let's FaceTime. I'll show you what Vinnie taught me. And then I thought, well, maybe she shouldn't start with the 10 pound. And what do you say to people who want to start weightlifting, especially women, which is great. I'm so excited that she wants to do it.
They need to learn the movement.
Do you think 7.5 pounds is better to start
maybe
with?
even 5 or 3.
Okay.
Because I, as a matter of fact, I have these weights around here somewhere. They were meant as walking weights. And, they came in, you can hold just the 1 pound grips, or you can screw onto each end and screw off and do it all the way up to like 10 pounds. I used to get clients like that, especially geriatrics or people that never worked out. I'd say, go, we're buying this. That was before it was on. And I'm going to take you through that. Right. And we have all these, we could keep screwing on different things until they get past that. I'm going to give a different example. There's a guy equal to me in the gym. He's my age. Let's call him Matthew because that's his name. We've become friends. I go over to Matthew's house to have my one scotch sometimes. And, that sort of thing. Matthew's a good guy and very fit. If you saw the guy, you would go, oh my God, this guy, his body looks, 20 years young. He looks 20 years younger than a 60-year-old man. We both take a different approach in the gym. And he knows my pedigree, my background, and he still has trouble. He can't stop doing what he's doing. So his idea is he uses really heavy weights. And let's say he's doing, I'm showing in the thing, let's say he's doing a shoulder press, right?
Mm-hmm. You have your 2 fists on your side like you're doing a shoulder press above your head.
If he's doing a shoulder press, he'll be on with dumbbells, right? If I'm doing shoulder press with dumbbells, I'll do my first set with 15s. I don't even count it as a set. I just call it greasing.
It's like a warm up. Yeah.
For anyone who doesn't know this, I had a reconstructed shoulder and I really have to grease the skid. So
you basically have a false shoulder.
Not basically, it's a fake shoulder.
It is a fake shoulder.
It's a piece of metal.
You're fake. Yeah. You've had plastic surgery.
I'm so fake.
You're so fake.
After I do that,
You're bionic.
I'll grab some 25s. And again, I do the Arnie's, I hold them here and I flip them out like that. Here, let me go grab a weight. Let me grab weights. Anna, hang on.
Okay. He's going to grab weights and he's going to do some Arnie's, which is what we want. By the way, I'll take this opportunity to let you guys know that Eat Happy Kitchen pumpkin marinara is back in stock for the fall. So order some. Pumpkin marinara is what you want. I just did an ad for myself, Vinnie. I just did an ad for myself for a second for pumpkin marinara while you got the weights.
So
did you get them?
Yeah. So okay. I'll move this mic aside a little bit.
Okay, he's going to move the mic. May I narrate?
Yeah, well, I'm going
we can still hear you.
I'm going to narrate. You can hear me, right? So,
yep.
If the
those are the little wee ones.
Yeah, these are like 3 or 5 pounds or something. So if the weights are here, right, you get a full range of motion by doing that, right? And then as you come down, you turn them back in. So for me,
well, that's fun because I only ever do these ones. So I should do these ones.
Yeah, Arnold Schwarzenegger starts saying, if you bring them in front, if you stop here, you stop the deltoid short. If you come here, you get more range of motion. So, and that's why they call them Arnie's. And then I'll do the 25s, and then I'll grab, the 40s, and I might go 45. Right now, I'm still pretty strong for my age. So, folks, the weights are going to vary, but on my last set, I just want to go to failure. And let's say I have the 40s in my hand, right? It looks like this. So you can narrate, and I'm going to do an actual. Okay.
So so to recap your last set, meaning your third set. So you've gone from 15s to 25s
I've done 2 warm-ups, and now I got either a 40 or a 45
in each hand.
And I'll start here.
And you'll start with the Arnie's with your fists facing your, where your armpits.
The way I'm moving.
Yep. And yeah, I always slow down because you taught me that.
At the top, I hold it for a second like that. And then you see how slowly I'm coming down?
Yep. And so you count to like 6 or 8 coming down?
Easily. I don't count, but
you just move slowly. Wait, so question for you on form, because I don't know if this is a Vinnie shoulder thing, but do you not straighten your arms at the top? Because you're kind of here when you're
I just did that just to come down. But yeah, I get them pretty straight.
Okay, straight. Okay. That was my question.
You know, you keep tension the whole time. So
you're not resting like with locked elbows. You're kind of
no. When I get there, I just start easing down. Okay. Very slowly, because by the time I get to like 6, 7 reps, I am done.
Right.
All right. Now, if I grab some 60s, right? Let's say I grab some 60s. I can sit there and impress people all day long and do this.
Right. Right. I don't even like you acting that out because I feel like you're going to create an injury.
Right. Even with the 5.
Like, I don't even like the idea of it.
I could probably get, with the 60s, I could probably do 8 or 10 and just rack them out. Right. It's mass times distance times time, the amount of time, because you can wear your muscles out any way you want to. I'd rather do it like that to protect my joints. Now, my friend Matthew, not only does he have heavy weights, but he will stop right here. So he will have the weight here.
He goes halfway up before doing the twist.
Here, and then here, and then here, and then here. And usually he's got one of those bands around his thing because he's got tendonitis in his elbows. He's always complaining about his shoulder ripping off and everying else.
Is that because he's shorting the motion, or is that because he's
he's using 70 and 80 pounds in each hand and doing a half a motion, jerking up and down, doing the whole thing, because in his mind, he still wants to do weights he did when he was 25. Guy's been in shape his whole life.
And you've been saying this for years. I heard you say it to Drew repeatedly. Stop trying to lift so heavy at your age. It's okay.
Drew's another one because, Drew and me and Matthew, I didn't know Matthew back then. I didn't know Drew back then. But we all grew up in this world where you went heavy. And it feels good to go heavy. I'm going to be honest with you. But
Lauren does the same thing.
You get the same feeling. I've even said to Matthew, let me take you through the exercises you do, but let me coach you through them. And you will, the way Ben Bocchicchio would do it or any of those guys, right?
Right.
But Fred Hahn, me, the guys that have been training people forever, number one, you won't be hurt anymore. And number two, you can kick your own ass. And
that's great.
Maybe it's because I don't carry a lot of muscle. I don't want to carry a lot of muscle.
Right.
Because I'm doing cycling, I'm doing, rowing machines, I'm running, I'm climbing mountains. I don't want to look like a bodybuilder.
You want to stay limber.
I want to not only stay limber. I don't have a need to carry a 49-inch chest up a mountain. Right. I'm happy with, just looking normal. Right. So maybe they look at me and go, well, if I do what he's doing, I won't look like much. But it's by design.
Right.
Right. It's by design.
So I should suggest to my friend maybe 5 pound or less, 7.5 pound. Don't go for the 10 pounders. Okay. I woke up this morning going, wait a minute.
It's not about the weight at first.
Right. It's about getting the motion down.
It's about learning how to do it correctly.
Right.
And I know people are like, oh, it's bullshit. You need to get in it. No. I've been doing this for 40 years. I've seen people get hurt. My best friend in the gym right now, shoulder one day, this the next day, get the thing wrapped on his elbow. I see it happening all the time. And look, I get hurt. My lower back is done. I can't go really heavy on squats. Right?
Yeah.
I bragged a little while ago about throwing a couple of 25s on an Olympic bar. Hell, that's close to 100 pounds doing lunges. That's a lot for me now.
Right. So you have to take your own advice.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Do you know whose advice you shouldn't take?
Yours.
Well, probably not mine, but that goes without saying.
You and Leona.
Unless it's talking about cooking, then I can give you some advice.
Oh, and you've given me good advice.
I want you to know that I'm not allowed to say the name of this company, although they did say to my friend who is going to health class to go ahead and share these slides with your friends. Did I cut out for a second?
You did, but I heard every word. So you're going to talk about something that someone told you about?
So a dear friend of mine who works at a Fortune 100 company, and it's a worldwide company.
Talk about what kind of is it? A hospital?
It's an insurance company.
Okay.
They sell insurance, and he works in the IT side. He's a coder. He codes the website. So he's not selling insurance. He's not forward facing, but still, I'm not going to say his name and I'm not going to say the company. Although if you work for this company and you recognize this class,
company?
No, I'm not going to confirm or deny because he made me swear I wouldn't say it.
Okay.
Because here's the thing. It's not about the company. It's about that we're still teaching these backwards notions in health classes. Now, in my friend's words, he said the mental health stuff that they taught was really good, but the physical stuff was just let me just read you the text chain, how it started.
Go on.
My work has a health seminar. I think you would lose your shit over this. To increase your productivity, eat light, but eat often. You should be eating 5 handfuls a meal, 3 meals a day, 4 snacks a day. I feel like I'm in a 1980s health class. And then he wrote, oh no, he's asking us to come up with a Thanksgiving plate that falls under the blank diet. And I just wrote, this information drives me nuts. It's like from a Cosmopolitan magazine in 1997. So then they said, so for veggies, let's put down sweet potatoes. And I said, please keep these coming. And then I said, eat 7 times a day. When do you have time to work?
Yeah, you're grazing. But you see, when you're eating carbohydrates, I've said this, you're always hungry. So that's why they have to do that. And Anna, can I say this? Insurance companies, you mentioned it's a Fortune 100 company. Insurance companies have paid me my top fee to go in, right? To go give an hour-long talk.
Right.
Based on my book, based on my first movie, based on.
Right. And I would hope that they would continue to do that and the word spreads.
But what they do is they'll have me in, usually it's at a conference, right? That's why. And these companies have so much money. The amount of money they throw at me is I'm gobsmacked by it, right? And, but I'll go in and do a talk, and then I'll see like one of the leading vegan doctors in the hotel. And I'll ask someone, what's he doing here? Oh, he's giving the keynote tomorrow. It's like, so what are we doing?
What are we doing?
Like, I felt like I just got to people, and, now they're going to hear this guy, and then we're going to go to that.
So I just sent you the screenshot of what they say your plate should look like. And on the left-hand side of the plate, it says fruits in the upper left quadrant, vegetables in the lower left quadrant, grains in the upper right quadrant, protein in the lower right quadrant, and then a glass of water on the side.
Okay, let me explain what they don't have here. They never mention fat.
That's right.
Ever.
Right.
The one macronutrient I just had, you'll hear it like in a week, folks, maybe even this coming Friday. I just had the great Dr. Ben Bigman on again, who's talking about grains, fruits, and vegetables, and how that can be a problem when it comes to Alzheimer's. Big study, right? And protein can turn to what? Oh, I don't know. Gluconeogenesis turns it into sugar. Now, protein.
You're walking right into my evil trap.
Yeah, protein is the building block of muscle, of all tissue in your body. That's where all the nutrients, all of the amino acids and everything comes from protein. But too much protein, along with grains and fruit and vegetables, not a good combination.
Well,
it's not mentioned here.
By the way, I just looked at the bottom left. It says copyright. All these slides are copyright Johnson & Johnson Human Performance Institute, a division of Johnson & Johnson Health and Wellness Solutions, Inc., 2018. So, by the way, this company is not Johnson & Johnson. So, but that's where these slides are from.
All right. So they're showing fruit as being a little less than
Right.
vegetables.
Like just slightly less.
But they say 2 handfuls of fruit. What is 2 hands? Is that
I think 2 handfuls of fruit or vegetables.
What's 2 handfuls?
I don't know.
What does that even mean?
Great question, Vin.
And then over
We'll
on
never
the grain
know.
side, 3 handfuls of grain. Do I scoop a big handful of rice?
I like to scoop all my grains with my hands. So
well, all right. So look at my hand.
Right.
Okay. Let's say the grain I decide.
I have a pretty big hand for a lady, so that would be a lot of grains.
But I have a big hand.
Yeah, you do.
Let's say I grab, just rice with my hand.
Just grabbed it.
Look what 2 handfuls look like for me.
That's a full cup and a half.
And on a bet, I couldn't eat 3 of my handsfuls of rice on a bet.
No, you would be.
I would go into a coma. I would go into a coma.
So then the next thing, go ahead. The next thing is what and how much to eat. And it's just focusing on snacks for this slide. Snacks are intended to bridge your energy between meals is what it says, but it cut off. Maximum of 100 to 150 calories. And here's some examples. 1 yogurt. Again, what? There's like a million kinds of yogurt.
Yeah.
1 yogurt.
Well, no, let's stop at yogurt. Stop. People ask me all the time, hey, I have yogurt every day. And I'll say, what kind? They'll go, what do you mean, what kind? I'll say, is it vanilla? Oh, yeah, I get the vanilla, the plain. Okay, is it plain or vanilla? No, it says vanilla. Can you go get it out of your fridge? It says vanilla. That's not plain. People are confused by that.
Right. And then they look at they turn the vanilla around and they see, there's sugar and all these carbs in it.
Or they'll say, I have the fill in the blank fruit yogurt. And I'll say
strawberry, peach,
I'll say,
whatever.
That's got sugar. And they'll say, no, right on the front. They'll show me the packet. Right on the front, it says 1 gram. 1 gram.
How does that work?
I don't know. You know how they get to lie.
They're doing nutrition panel math.
Or they might say it's only 3 grams. You told me I can have 20 grams of. Okay, no, you're counting and you're not counting correctly. So stop it. All right, go on, Anna.
15 almonds or cashews. Which, by the way, this is my pet peeve when they tell you to count nuts. Drives me nuts.
Me too.
Because I was that person who a trainer told me you can have 7 almonds a day, and it took me years to peel that back.
That's diet mentality. Whenever people say to me, I have 10 almonds and I have 3 macadamia, that's diet mentality. I'm trying to get people to go away from that. Go on, Anna.
The worst one on this list might be this, but it's not. 1/2 of a nutrition bar. What?
Okay.
What does that mean?
Candy bar. That's a candy bar.
Yeah. Just go have half a Snickers.
I've looked at nutrition bars of all sorts. If it's not made out of meat or venison or turkey, you're eating a candy bar, folks.
Yeah.
Make no mistake.
And those meat ones, now you have to check the label because they've added sugar to them.
Yeah, they put raisins in some of them. Go on.
Yeah. 1 ounce of cheese. Okay, that's something. That seems like something.
Yeah.
And again, the 1 ounce of cheese is, I don't know, again, it's not counting specifically like it is with nuts, but it's still very much like, I can have a little tiny cube of cheese. Okay, this one's great. 1 large apple, peach, or pear.
That seems oddly specific. It
does. And then finally, another favorite of mine is 1 tablespoon of peanut butter. Recommendation: snack includes 5 to 6 grams of protein and or fiber.
And it's crazy making.
It's crazy making. This is what I'm saying. This is what they're teaching, and they have to sit in this class every morning for an hour for 2 weeks to learn the things. Now, my friend who sent this to me is on the autism spectrum. So he did appreciate the mental health stuff because a lot of people aren't aware of like how to handle, and you know what I mean? So that was important to him, and I appreciated that. So I guess you take the bad with the good. But he does NSNG. He listens to this podcast.
Right.
He's very fit. He lifts. He is a gay man and wants to look good. And I get it. So he's like, this is crazy information. So then, hold on. My computer's being weird. He goes 15 grams of peanut butter, Lamau. That's literally just sugar.
Yeah.
Because of like what you're talking about the protein turning into sugar. And by the way, it's also inflammatory, which we talk about in this podcast. I'm going to skip a couple of these comments because they're too personal. He goes, then we talked about, quote, fitness. And the fitness was like 5 minutes of back stretches in your desk a day. And these employees are talking about how when they lean to the side, their back cracks. And I'm like, that's not normal or healthy. Like, y'all need to actually leave your chairs. You work from home. And then, quote, aim for 100 calories per snack throughout the day to help fuel your energy for work. And then they sent this scale that I'm sending to you, Vinny. This is bonkers. Hold on. This is called, it says, listen to your body. Eat only what you need to supply your body with energy for the next 2 to 4 hours. And then it says hunger scale. And it goes backwards in numbers from 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Right.
Okay. With number 6 is feeling absolutely full, food coma, falling asleep. Number 5, clothes feel tight, feel sluggish, not alert, unproductive. Number 4, and then the numbers turn blue for 4, 3, and 2, like as if that's the range I'm assuming that they want people to go for. So 4 says feel full, not stuffed, bloated, or sleepy. 3 is feeling satisfied, not hungry anymore. And then 2 is feeling of hunger, stomach growls, which, by the way, to me is a huge jump of going from stomach growls to feeling satisfied. Like, I feel like a lot biochemically happens between those 2 steps. But okay. 1, feeling lightheaded, unfocused, irritable, highly unproductive. And 0, which I don't understand this one, not hungry anymore, feeling able to go hours without eating. Again, there seems to be a lot biochemically that happens between 1 and 0.
All right. So Anna, I'm going to take.
What is this? This hunger scale is bonkers, right?
It makes no sense.
It makes no sense.
I'm going to.
How are people who aren't familiar with this topic supposed to make sense of this?
Anna, it's 6 o'clock right now as we record this, 6 p.m. for me.
Okay, but let me just tell you a few of the takeaways from the dieting advice. These are quotes from there because they make them get together in a group and say, here are some takeaways. And by the way, they also sent a 160-page PDF for all the fitness and dieting tips, like as if people are going to read that. I'm like, just give Vinny's PDF. It's 28 pages and a very easy read. Hello. Yeah. So here are a couple of quotes. Quote, somebody said in his group, usually I eat almonds as a snack, but today I made sure to count them. That doesn't really fill me. So instead, I'll just eat fruit. That was from one person. That's what she learned from this course. 2, I never knew nuts were so high in calories. I need to avoid them. Today, I was healthy by removing anything that has fat in it from my fridge.
Wow.
And 3, he says, one woman got rid of all of her butter, milk, and nuts for some sort of vegan milk substitute. And then I wrote in all caps, this is killing me, because it is.
Look, I feel bad for people. People are just getting fatter and more out of shape.
And I'm sitting here and I almost said his name. I wrote to my friend and said, they probably paid hundreds of thousands of dollars for this course, for these instructors. And he goes, and I was like, they could pay Vinny a quarter of that price. Yeah. And they would learn way more in way less time. He would need to go on a 2-week-long course for them to learn all this stuff. And it drives me nuts. Anyway, okay. Did you email
no, not yet.
Our guest? Okay.
All right, Anna, do this. Tell people about my 20% discount. And tell me
what the discount code is for nsngfoods.com.
Vinny is Vinny.
Vinny!
Yeah, and I'll write to this woman, and then I'll tell you about
just the word Vinny.
VINNIE, 20% off, one time only.
I can't believe you're still doing this discount. This is amazing.
Still have it there. I'll do it.
When is it going to go through? The end of August?
I don't know. Whenever I decide to stop doing it.
All right. Well, then y'all take advantage of it. Go to NSNG Foods and eat my favorite snack. By the way, I have 2 subscriptions. You know why? Because I need this supply to come to me every 2 weeks. I get 10 packets of the vanilla flavor and 10 packets of the one that has the coffee in it. And if they ever come out with new flavors, I will buy 10 of those as well. I am obsessed with these NSNG nut butters because he's taken almonds and then added coconut oil to it and then the electrolytes and then all the flavors. I'm obsessed because this is what I would prefer to eat during the day if I could, because I really only have time to even make a dinner and I rarely have time to do that. So these NSNG foods are a lifesaver. And if Lucy was still at home going to school when I used to pack her lunches, I would 1,000% be putting these in her lunch packs. I know Vinny's doing this 20% off I guess apparently it's until he changes his mind. So get over there.
If you can only do it one time, even if you have a subscription, so you can do that. And then,
oh, I should go do it because I have a subscription.
You can do it, and then you could do it on Lauren's thing. A lot of people are doing using theirs, and then their husband or wives, and then their neighbors or their kids.
I love it so much. NSNGfoods.com. Use the discount code Vinnie, VINNIE. You get 20% off a one-time order. Go take advantage of that.
Okay, Anna.
Yeah.
It is 6:10 now.
Yeah. And we have to go in 20 minutes.
Hang on. I woke up at 6 o'clock this morning. I've been up for 12 hours.
How many nut butters have you eaten?
Hang on. Just pay attention. This is in response to what you were just talking about.
How's your hunger scale?
Well, I woke up and I'm going to tell you everything I put in my body today.
Okay.
Besides water, I've been drinking water throughout the day.
With your electrolytes in it or just plain water?
Well, I've taken some electrolytes along the way.
Okay.
But, I can't remember how many. So,
okay.
So I woke up this morning, first cup of coffee at around 6:15, had the equivalent of a teaspoon or a tablespoon of heavy cream in it. That was it. At 8:10, I was doing the core class, right? The strenuous core class. Hadn't eaten yet. All I've had was that coffee plus a black coffee behind that. And I came into my gym and stretched and did all that, and then went to core and did that.
Right.
After core, I came home and had somewhere between 12 and 15 ounces of meat, ground beef. The only thing I put in it was salt. Just salt and ground beef.
Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. Once it was all browned up and everything, I scraped a little cheese in there, a little cheddar cheese.
Okay.
Not a lot, just a little bit. An hour after that, I worked for about an hour, maybe an hour and a half, had to do a bunch of stuff. And then I went and worked out. I did a hard pull routine. I went to the gym and worked out like an animal, right? I came home from that. I had one of my ultra fats. So far today, the only thing of substance that I've eaten was the meat this morning, 12 to 15 ounces. I didn't weigh it. I didn't count it. And then I had one ultra fat, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock. Right before this podcast, because I worked again, I had to do a lot of work. I had another ultra fat. So today, all I've had was 2 ultra fats and the meat.
Right.
I'm not hungry. I kicked ass in 2 different workouts.
Right.
I did one workout I'd never done before. I did a whole lat routine, a whole back routine in the gym. And just everything. Right. Normally I would do aerobics. I didn't do aerobics today. Normally I would do 90 minutes of aerobics on that. Today I'm not doing I'm taking a day off of aerobics. Right. The bottom line is I should be either starving or emaciated or falling asleep or something that these fucking people are talking about.
Right.
And I'm not. And I'll probably not eat at 6:15 now. I probably won't eat for, I don't know, next hour and a half. I don't know, whenever Serena decides to make dinner. And then I'll be able to eat then. Okay. Let's see. We have Samantha. Samantha, go ahead and turn on your mic. There she is.
Hi.
How are you doing?
Doing pretty good. How about you?
Oh, whoa. What was that sound? Did you hear a sound, Anna?
I did. But it sounded like it was just an adjustment of something.
All right. How are you, Samantha?
Doing pretty good. How about yourselves?
Yeah. Welcome to the show.
Welcome. Samantha Rodes is here, folks.
Yeah. So Samantha, Anna said Samantha wants to come on the show. And I said, okay. I didn't even ask why you wanted to come on the show.
It all happened very quickly.
Yeah.
Okay. I've been on the show before, actually.
Yeah. I recognize you.
Yeah. You said I sounded like Bart.
Yeah, you did. I did say that, Anna. That was very cruel of me, but she sounded like Bart. Bart Simpson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I wanted, because I remember I'd also sent you an email years ago, kind of telling you about my story. Okay, wait. I've got 2 cats in the room, by the way, so if they make noises.
That's all right. They're allowed to be on the show too.
Okay.
We're animal friendly.
She's a cat woman, Anna. Just
yeah.
Yeah.
So
go on. Tell people, give a quick description of your story, because remember, you were never overweight, right?
No, I've never been extremely overweight in my life. I've always been the skinny kid. In fact, my grandmother's nickname for me was Chicken Bones, because I'm naturally pretty thin. And I get that from my father's side. He's like 6 feet tall and very thin. But I get the petite side from my mother's side, where she was barely 5 feet. My grandmother on her side, who since passed, was like 4'7" around the time she died. And I'm 4'9".
You're 4'9". And by the way, Anna, Bart Simpson, you hear Bart Simpson?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
But I also listen and I go, oh, you could do a lot of voices in cartoons.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've been told that.
Yeah.
But I've always been very thin. I have a fast metabolism. And actually, when I get stressed or anxious, things go right through me. Like they don't even absorb. And the reason why I'm on here, though, is part of my past is that I was abused by one of my parents. And I'm not going to identify who it was, just because I'm very nervous about the repercussions of that.
Don't say anything that make you uncomfortable, but I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah.
But one of my parents had abused me, and to make matters worse, this parent had convinced my pediatrician at the time, in fact, 2 pediatricians, that there was something wrong with me. Like they had Munchausen syndrome. One pediatrician had told her she's going to be a dwarf, and she panicked, thinking that I was going to be a dwarf, even though I thought your mom is petite, you are petite, and this doctor didn't really ask those questions. But that was one thing that happened. And then another pediatrician was convinced that I had anorexia, and I had seen psychiatrists after therapists, and I was too afraid to speak up and say, this parent is abusing me. So, and also as a kid, I was a weird eater. Like, it sounds crazy, but I don't like candy. I don't like sweets or treats. I never liked it. I think I was always in touch with my body, where I just knew the chemicals and everything. Like it just, the aftertaste, it doesn't taste natural to me. My sweet fixes like strawberries or mangoes, like that was me growing up. So the fact that, as a kid, I wasn't really eating a lot of like the snack foods that kids in the 90s were marketed to, and that my appetite was going away. And if I did eat, any food that I ate went through me, and I was losing weight even more. Like I looked like a Holocaust victim. Wow. I went from skinny to ultra skinny because all the food I ate went right through.
Yeah.
The doctors were convinced that something was wrong, and I just couldn't tell them, this parent is abusing me verbally, even physically, mentally. Like everything was just wrong. So I was forced into inpatient care. This place is gone now, but it was in Downey here in California. And
inpatient eating disorder care?
Yeah, it's a house.
Okay.
It's a house, and this was an all girls. I believe there's some where they mix both the boys and the girls, but the one I was in was all girls. And it was, I want to say I felt like Jack Nicholson in One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
Yeah.
Being in there. It was
there a big Indian girl in there that took the water fountain and
No, but it was.
But there should have been.
It was alarming. Were
you looking around for a big Indian girl at some point?
Yeah. You're like, help me.
It was alarming, the things that I had seen in there. Me not having a real eating disorder, but looking at girls that did. And then actually, here's the ironic part, is I actually think that place gave me an eating disorder coming out. No. That, first of all, we had what's called an exchange system. So you had to have X amount of starch or carbohydrates, proteins, vegetables, fruits, and fats. And I swear, up to half of the exchange system was just starch alone. Yeah. And all the girls, and myself included, when we weren't doing the forced group therapy with our family and with each other, which that's a whole other thing that was insane, but if we weren't doing any of the treatments, and if we had any downtime, which I think at most was like 2 to 3 hours a day to ourselves, we were nodding off like, because we were on meds. They gave you medication and that makes you drowsy, but also we were having blood sugar crashes because we were eating so many processed carbs. And I get you need to put on weight. At that point, you need to do whatever you can. But on the other hand, too, it wasn't even quality food. That if you couldn't finish one of your meals for whatever reason, then you had to have a tall glass of Boost.
Right.
Similar to ensure
they were loading you guys down with carbs in an effort to get you to eat.
So let's
how did you get out of it?
Yeah, let's get you past that. How did you get to where you are now?
Well, I went through a relapse after that because I had gained enough weight to where insurance said, okay, she's fine, she could do an outpatient. So I didn't be an inpatient. I gained enough weight and they were having me go up to like 4,000 calories a day to not only gain weight, but also maintain for a while, but that was getting harder. And to make a long story short, I just had to vouch for myself. I had to finally speak up and say, this parent is the one responsible. It was very brave. Yeah. And then the other parent had to go through a custody battle, but they won. But I had gone through another relapse because even though I was having trouble with this parent, my family and even one of the psychiatrists I was seeing was still telling me, you need to have a relationship with this parent, even though I just admitted they were abusing me. But I was at that point in my second relapse becoming suicidal.
Oh dear.
And it was more of a come to Jesus moment. I can't explain it, but I was lying down. And one of the things, and this plays part of my story, one of the things that kind of gave me some relief at night, because I couldn't sleep. I had the worst insomnia. My favorite director is Guillermo del Toro. So I would go to sleep playing the audio commentary for his movies. He has a very soothing voice. He reminds me of a lot of relatives I have. So I would fall asleep to that. And one night I was kind of realizing, listening to his commentary, like, I'm going to find a way through this. I don't know how, but I just, in my mind, I started going to a place where I was happy and where I felt good.
All right. So Samantha, because the audience is going to start wondering, how old were you then and how old are you now?
I was around 15, 16, and I am 28 years old.
Okay. So that was almost a half a life ago. When did you start taking control of your life as an adult?
Well, I mean, I was 16 when I made the decision to start finally getting my health back, eating right. And that's not an adult yet, but that's really what started it. I guess in my 20s, I was a little more confident in that. And in my 20s was when I finally broke off all contact with this parent.
So what did eating right look like to you at 16?
Eating right? Well,
you even remember? I mean, that's a lifetime ago.
See, that's the thing that's been distorted because I gone through so many treatments and dietitians were telling me it's okay to eat fast food for every meal, every single.
Because they were just trying to get calories on you.
They were just trying to get you to eat anything. So now you get to when do you find us in this? What year was that?
Oh gosh, maybe around like 2013. 2014.
I think it was pretty early because she came to was it Ice House or Flappers?
I tried going and then some family thing came up and I had to bail. So I never really got to see you live, but I did see Anna last summer at a local health food
That's right.
store.
I was doing a grocery store demo in Pasadena and she stopped by. That was awesome.
Wow, that was nice. But you seem to have it together now. I remember we talked about that when you were on the show. You seem to be doing fine now.
Oh yeah, no, I'm doing great. I eat mostly as I don't like to even say I've eaten like NSNG diet. Like it's just food.
We don't like the word diet either because it is just food.
I don't use diet.
I don't like that either, but I would say that I don't eat a huge amount of like, I guess like carbs, like I eat a lot of like beef, salmon's my favorite. I like eggs. I like fruit. I'll have sweet potatoes. I don't have a blood sugar problem. I did coming out of the eating 4,000 calories because that did screw with my blood sugar. I remember getting
with all those starches. Jesus.
Yeah.
You had to heal. You had to heal your body.
But I would say that I eat like balance. Like I don't restrict myself in the slightest. I don't count calories. In fact, that was my problem, is, you know, how people were worried like, oh, I overate too many calories or I gained X amount of weight on the scale. Mine was the opposite. Like I didn't eat enough calories, and oh my God, I accidentally lost like 1 pound, which could have been water weight. It could have been anything, but
Right.
like
it makes you micromanage it in your head, and then you're more anxious about it than you need to be. And I'm really proud of you for unspooling that. I know that takes a lot of time. And also too, I'm glad that you're here for anybody who's experienced abuse and has learned to speak up for themselves, or is maybe listening and needs to speak up for themselves. I'm glad that you're here. And I guess, so the ending to the Guillermo del Toro thing is that you did actually got through it, A, B, and then you got to work with him, correct? Doing creature stuff?
Yeah, well, it wasn't
Very
a monster, but and in fact, my character is a blink and you'll miss me cameo just due to changes in the script. You know, I played a character in it, and it was just a full circle moment being on the set.
I
love
it. I love these stories. I mean,
hold on, I can even show you.
Oh, cool.
I made it in the book for the movie.
That's so cool. Tell us the movie.
Nightmare Alley.
Nightmare Alley. That's right.
Yeah.
I played a character who was a real person in real life. He was in a movie from 1932 called Freaks. His name was Schlitzie, and he was born with microcephaly, so he was a pinhead. Beautiful term. But
there's a cat. I see the cat.
There's a cute cat right behind you, by the way. Super cute.
I'm trying to find my character. I had to shave my head.
Did you?
That's dedication.
You have such a beautiful mop of hair. I mean, it's it's sad that you have to do that for the character. Is that
crazy?
Yes, that's me.
Wow.
Amazing.
Wow. Look at that.
Isn't that cool?
I love it.
Yeah, that was about 3.5 hours of application for those prosthetics.
Yeah.
Shout out to makeup artists Mike Hill, Megan Manny, Sean Sampson. They just did a remarkable job, especially Mike, who knew that this was a real person, and the approach was with great tenderness and respect. We didn't want to do a caricature of him. So it was a lot of tests just to get it right. But yeah, I'm so grateful for that opportunity to have worked for my hero, who helped me find my voice and to believe in a better day. And I'm going through a rough patch just because as an actor, you know, finding work, getting representation.
Yes, I am familiar.
Yeah, like the crazy thing was I was going to do something, and I had done my first body cast for it, and that's where, you know, you're standing up and they have to do a cast of your whole body for that for like an hour. Oh, I love it. I love that stuff.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were saying they were looking at your body and commenting on it.
No.
They're actually pouring a cast. Got it.
Yeah, they're pouring all sorts of material.
Different kind of casting.
Yeah. I'm from the makeup effects side. Like that's the type of acting that I do. I had done my first body cast, and they had sculpted and made the character, and we were going to film. And literally the week the production had me fill out my W-4 forms. Like the minute I submit it, I get an email saying, hey, due to a change in creative, we have to cut your character out.
Yeah, that sucks. By the way, let me tell you this. You're not going to like this, but I'm going to tell you something. Congratulations. That means you've made it in Hollywood. The first time you get fired, it sucks. But it means you have a career and you're going to keep working. And sometimes you need to hear that as an actor, because I'm going to tell you, I know veterans in this business who have worked 20, 30, 40 years, and they still don't know where their next job is coming from. And everyone wants to lose their shit. And he who keeps it together works sooner. Just trust me on that.
Yeah.
And let me tell you,
send you all the good vibes.
I'll tell you what I know about this. When you do your first movie and you work on it for weeks and you're in it, and then all of it ends up on the cutting room floor.
That's right.
That's when you'll know.
Especially for us monsters, it happens a lot. Yeah,
I'm sure, because they've got to cut stuff out, and so the leads are going to stay in, and then the monsters are going to get their screen time is going to get cut down. Absolutely, but. Listen, I know that we're pressed for time today, so I don't mean to rush you off, but I'm so glad we could make this happen really fast, because your story is very important, and what you went through. I'm so sorry, but thank you for being really just sharing it. because I know there's people out there who it's not just about the weight loss. It's about managing our relationship with food and ourselves. So thank you.
And I guess my final note is, because even though I'm going through a rough patch right now, just like I did back in those days when I was lying down in my bed at 4 a.m, listening to my hero, I believe in a better day. And we're all going through rough times right now. I mean, you see it in the news, and I'm at a point where I don't even pay attention. And I really just try to visualize, feel those better days and see myself doing that, whether it was, getting my health back, whether it was cutting ties with a very toxic person in my life, and even believing that I'm going to be doing greater and better things. I'm doing that right now.
Good.
And I pray for everyone who's going through a rough time or who's dealing with these types of situations. My heart goes out to all of you. Samantha,
stay positive. What you're doing is great. And thank you for coming on. We look forward to having you on again really soon.
Yeah. And if you ever want to see the type of things I can do outside of monster makeup on my Instagram, I'm always bending. I'm doing contortion. So if you want to,
she's bendy. Yeah,
very.
Yeah.
Well,
thank you, Samantha. You're amazing. And keep just from one actor to another, just stay positive. You got this.
Thank you so much.
So, Anna, I don't know how to.
Oh. Samantha, you might have to leave the meeting because he doesn't know how to do it. Bless you. Thank you. Samantha Rodes, everybody. Thank you, sweetie. Bye. All right.
Incredible story.
An incredible story. And I love it because it's just something different, because we are always concentrating on weight loss. But there are a lot of people out there trying to put weight on, trying to put muscle on, it never surprises me when there's a story of extreme abuse, and she has triumphed in getting the help that she needs. So if you guys need help or you're triggered by that, please seek help. We love you all, and we want you to be safe and feel good and work through it.
Anna, we did a little ad for you, but I'm going to tell you, this morning when I had that 15 ounces of meat, of course, there was a little bit of your barbecue dust in there. And I have been playing with this.
What?
I've been playing with something else. I've tried putting your barbecue dust and the taco dust together. It doesn't work because it just tastes like, I feel like I wasted.
I was going to say, you can do barbecue and dill together, but I would keep them separate.
It just didn't work because it just goes to the taco flavor too much. And I just wasted the dust. So folks, don't overdust.
Don't waste the dust.
Go get Anna Vocino's.
I'm going to tell you, use the dust with some mustard on your, do the dust and then spread some either yellow mustard or Dijon mustard. Of course, make sure there's no sugar added to that mustard, which I'm sure you guys are checking your labels, or do mayo in the dust and to help it stick and throw it on the grill. I don't care if it's chopped steaks, ribs, fish. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Go to eathappykitchen.com. I got a lot of reports from people subscribing to my Substack, because I guess a lot of people find me through Substack referrals.
Right.
And they don't know about NSNG. They don't even know what it is. So I'm like, hey, we've got NSNG. Go find Vinnie and learn about the things. I've got a food company. Go buy some sauces and some spices. So I'm not just a recipe bitch.
No, it's crazy. You know, some people, I'm a big fan. It's like, well, you know, Anna on Monday, and they're like, who's Anna?
Who's Anna? Like, oh, I get that. I get that in my own group all the time. Who's Anna? Let's Eat Happy. You mean the name of this group?
Okay. People do that with me on Vinnie Tortorich's No Sugars. No, they're like, who's that? So, folks, you know what to do. We all go shopping on Amazon. Before you go to Amazon, please go to VinnieTortorich.com, click through the banner. It puts a little coal on the fire and it gets my train down the track. We also have a super fan page. And if you go to VinnieTortorich.com, you'll get to see what that's all about.